In 2003, Bratz released one of its most iconic lines yet, Slumber Party Wave 2. I'm assuming this line was so popular that they released it twice because this is technically the second iteration of these dolls, and you might be saying to yourself, Keezy, these don't look like the 2003 versions. And that's because in true MGA fashion, they gave us some reproductions of the line in 2024. And while these reproductions are pretty faithful to the originals, I feel like their face-ups and their hair need that little bit of that Keezy touch. So starting out with their hair, of course I'm going to rinse each doll in some lukewarm water. I will say for these reproductions that the amount of gel in their hair wasn't atrocious. I feel like we all know at this point that MGA loves to load their dolls' hair with a ton of gel, and they definitely didn't do that this time, which is always appreciated to me. But there was some gel in the hair that of course we want to break up with a little bit of lukewarm water before moving on with the styling process.
You on my mind. Am I in too deep or being naive? Will you lift me up or send me to my knees? Start prophesizing that you'll wreck my life and leave me high and dry, yeah. But you look at me like you know something I don't. It's almost like you see.
After their hair has been thoroughly rinsed, I like to go in with some more warm water, and I'm just going to give the hair a little bit of a soak in this large bowl. I'll actually be adding some 91% alcohol into the bowl. This step probably isn't super necessary, but I just like to make sure that my doll's hair have absolutely no gel in it, because sometimes that gel can be a little tricky and sometimes it'll have a little bit of residue left even after you wash it. And I didn't let the dolls soak for long, just for about 5 minutes. So after I let them soak for a little bit, of course, I rinsed out any of that water alcohol solution. And then I'm gonna go in with some shampoo to thoroughly cleanse the hair a little bit more. You don't want to wash the hair more than one time, especially because you did the little alcohol rinse. That can just kind of typically dry out the hair. So I just went in with one shampoo and then rinsed the doll out. Then I'll go in with some conditioner just to make sure the hair is nice, smooth, and shiny, and of course to remove any tangles that there might be. Jade's bangs were super glued to her forehead, so I made sure to scrub them really well. And last but not least, we'll repeat that exact same process on Sasha. I will say out of the 3 dolls that I got, that Sasha's hair did seem the thinnest. I don't know why that is, and I feel like I may have seen some of my mutuals say the same thing. But just keep in mind that if you take that hairstyle down, her hair may be slightly on the thinner side. It wasn't too bad that, you know, I would complain, but just something to note. Another side note, I just love the quality of nylon that MGA uses on a Bratz. I feel like it's even better quality than Rainbow High for some reason. I just remember it being so nice on the Always Bratz girlies as well, and it's no different on this line. A slight intermission on styling the hair. So as I mentioned in the beginning of this video, I do feel like these reproductions are pretty faithful to the originals in a lot of ways, but in some other ways they aren't. Specifically in the face-ups, I do think that the face-ups for Jade and Sasha don't really look like the originals at all. They kind of look like almost completely different dolls. And if you didn't know, for the past, I don't know, 6 months to a year, I have been really practicing on doing Bratz face-ups. And I knew when I picked up these reproductions that I wanted to try my hand at repainting their faces. And while over the past year I've done a lot of Bratz face-ups, I've never actually tried to replicate an original Bratz screening. So I was definitely a little bit nervous about doing it, but what's so great is that I feel like I've practiced so much over the past couple of months that I'm even confident enough to even consider wiping a factory doll's face up and redoing myself. Because at the beginning of my repaint journey, there is absolutely no way in hell I would even consider doing that. Like paying $25 for a doll and repainting it. I would be so scared that the end result would turn out terribly and then I would have wasted my money that, again, I wouldn't even consider doing it. So that's why I always say that practice makes perfect. I know that sounds super duper cliche, but it is so true. Like I set out to master Bratz face-ups and I don't think that I have done it yet. I definitely still have a lot more work to do, but again, I feel like it's a testament to say that I am confident enough now that I feel like I can go in and fix face-ups. That's crazy to think about. But with all that rambling done, what I wanted to fix about Jade's face up is that in her original doll, her eyes are a lot more angular than the reproduction. I also feel like the reproduction's eyes were slightly too far apart and maybe a little bit too small for the head. But again, that is just my opinion. I feel like my opinion is pretty much the consensus that everybody has though. I did end up keeping the lips though, just because I do feel like the lip shape is pretty accurate, and honestly, the less repainting I have to do, the better. I am honestly interested to know how they recreate the screenings in the factory, because you would think with all the advancements in technology that it would be super easy to replicate the original doll's face up onto the reproduction, but the accuracy of the doll's face ups on the reproductions is kind of hit or miss. Like sometimes they get it really right and other times they just simply don't. But moving on to Sasha, who I think in this slumber party line is the least faithful to her original doll. Like honestly, if you didn't tell me that it was a slumber party Sasha doll, I would not know. I honestly think for her screening that they tried to fix some of the issues that her original slumber party face up had, because when you look at her original slumber party face up, it is kind of wonky. And I just recreated that wonk on the doll. I mean, I feel like it's still kind of cute. I feel like a little bit of wonkiness in the doll can kind of give it a little bit of character. But yeah, her factory face up did not look anything like her original doll. And yeah, I think the eyes are way too small. I think that they are way too far apart. Like she honestly kind of looks like an alien. I also feel like the makeup on some of these reproductions is a little bit muted, especially on Sasha. So I knew when I was going in with the face up that I wanted to make the colors a bit more vibrant. By the way, I forgot to mention, if you're interested to know any of the products or any of the tools you see me using in today's video, it is always linked in the description box down below so that you can check out anything that you may need. When I do my custom Bratz face-ups, like the original ones that I think of myself, people always tell me that I have eyebrow blindness, but I just hate thin eyebrows on Bratz dolls. Isn't that so weird? Even when I was doing these face-ups, putting the thin brows on the dolls, just it looked foreign to me. And moving on to the styling. So for Slumber Party Cloe, I wanted to kind of keep it faithful to her original hairstyle. So of course I did give her back her two ponytails off camera. I did raise them up a little bit, and then of course I did do my little signature wrap around ponytail. I think any ponytail is incomplete without a wraparound. And of course I just secured that wraparound piece in the rubber band. And then I'll just replicate that same thing on the other side. Now off camera, I did also do some swirls to kind of hide those shorter pieces around the back. I didn't film it just because my camera was giving me some issues, so don't be too angry with me. To finish off the style, I did add a little bit of water wax to her front tendrils. For Sasha, I wanted to do something that was kind of reminiscent of her original hairstyle, but of course with a little bit of a twist. So what I'm going to do is recreate her two front ponytails. What I love about this doll is that she is thatched across the back, so it really does kind of give you a lot of styling capabilities. So I opted for, again, a half up, half down style. So I left that third section there in the back. And I wanted her hairstyle to still feel really Bratz-esque. Like, I know that everybody has seen the Bratz commercials where they have these really nice kind of intricate hairstyles. I didn't want to take it too crazy. I did want it to still feel like something that is my style. So I didn't want it to be too maximalist. So I did wrap some pieces around the base of the ponytail, again, because I love to hide the rubber bands, and it just adds a little bit of detail into the hair. So I wrapped it around the ponytail twice, and then I created this little spike in the center. And yeah, I just love little ponytails like this.
I don't care what you do, I'm happier than ever, so much better.
And yes, I did cut off the little tail end of the hair to create the spike. I am never afraid to cut my doll's hair.
Without you, picking up the pieces of a dream, every little thing I thought we'd be, learning how to let go of all the ways you burned me. And I was hurting, but you know what they say, time's got a good way of healing. I'm back to feeling.
And moving on to one of my favorite ways to style my doll's hair, I wanted to give Sasha some crimps just to add a little bit of interest to the hairstyle. And I also feel like there's nothing more like early 2000s, late 90s than some crimps, especially on black hair. It just feels super nostalgic to me.
I don't care what you do.
And y'all are going to be really mad at me for this Jade restyle. So I was being kind of experimental with her hairstyle, and again my camera was giving me some issues. So I didn't get most of styling her hair on camera, but I did do these little kind of swirly, spirally buns. Again, it gives major 90s vibes. And then what you see me doing is just kind of curling the hair under just to kind of refine the style.
Was you, my skies are blue, dancing kind of weather back together like I wasn't into. Thought I was doomed, but I moved through the heartache mood. I don't care what you do, I'm happier than ever, so much better.
So it is almost Virgo season, which means that August is my birthday month. So my birthday is on August 24th, and I will leave in the description box down below my Amazon wish list. If you guys want to send me anything, I would be so grateful. And if I do get enough stuff, I will make an entire video doing a birthday haul. So just wanted to throw that out there. But I also want to know, do you guys own any of the Slumber Party dolls? Let me know in the comment section down below. Also, what I want to hear in the comment section down below, tell me your thoughts on Jade and Sasha's face ups. Let me know how I did. I love a little bit of constructive criticism. Also, if you enjoyed hanging out with me today, don't forget to give that thumbs up button down below a big push. And we would also love to have you a part of the plastic crew. And if you would like to join, I'd like to make videos every other week. So hit that subscribe button down below if you would like. But that is all for me, friends. I love you guys so much. Peace.